It's Bitty Penny. Grab your scraps, you guys. Let's make some Franken cards. I'm making 12 beautiful cards with you today. And these papers are my scraps. So come check it out. Okay, so as many of you may know, I am working through this paper pad that's 12 by 12 that I knew I really wouldn't want to use the papers, okay, in my card making or whatever. So I'm covering the papers with scraps. I call it, and lots of people call this approach, Frankenpaper. Mostly it's used in the junk journal world, but I like to use it for card making. So, in the past, most recently in the past, we made 5x7s with these cards, and today I'm making A2. Now, I sped it up, all right? I know you can't be here all day. I wish you could, I wish we could, but I understand. But I sped this up and I left it all in for you because I want you to see that Frankenpaper definitely goes through an ugly duckling stage, okay? It's rough. Don't give up on yourself. Don't think that you're making a mistake. You're playing with your scraps. You're not making a mistake. And you just keep gluing and you just keep adding. Okay, so I keep all of my scraps in like a sheet protector, just a normal Office Depot sheet protector. I love them. They're clear. You can see what's inside unless you have 4,000 pieces of paper like me and scraps inside. You just see that you have a big old mess in there. But I love them. They're clear. They keep my stuff clean. They keep it all together. So that's what I keep my scraps in for the most part. For the size that I like to use here. Now, obviously, what I'm doing is laying down my biggest pieces first, and then I slowly start to fill in the gaps. So the gaps for this sheet of paper are that orange background, right? And now I'm going through my scraps and I'm finding these smaller pieces. This is probably like a 1.5-inch strip. And I like tearing. I love the torn edges. And I mean, I can't be bothered with measuring at this point, right? That's the other really liberating thing and why I want you to try this if you haven't already, because it's extremely freeing. Like don't overthink it. Don't try to measure. Grab a ruler to tear things the size you want. It's a great way to do things. You know, here, like I left that branding strip on. I knew I could cover it. What did I cover it with? Another branding strip. And, you know, just play around. Now, one thing I do like to do is like all of these paper colors kind of go together, right? So if you're working, think maybe like jewel tones, pastels, like color families, kind of brights, vintage, and so kind of group the scraps you want to play with in that way. And of course, you can have a little bit of anything in there. Some people have sent me their Franken cards, and I absolutely love it every time. I probably have like 40 cards that people have sent me using this approach. And some people like to ink the edges, so they'll tear their scraps and then they'll ink around the edges before they glue it down. That's a definite thing that is beautiful and people like to do. I normally just don't take that time to do that. But there really are no rules. If you have scrap die cuts, like ornate ovals or something that you cut out for a card but you didn't use it, you didn't put it back with your die, or however you store such things, those can go on here. Anything can go on your Frankenpaper. Now, I do like lots of interest, and when I glue things down, I don't like to glue all the way to the edges necessarily when I'm still in this stage of tucking layers behind one another and getting that real layered effect. So you've seen me do that here where I'm lifting pieces and tucking pieces behind one another. I kind of lay things out and get an idea of how one of them, this white piece was standing out like a sore thumb, wasn't it? So I had to cover it. There I am grabbing my ruler, and I just use that to tear the edge. And I have my Frankenpaper, you guys. I love this sheet. Okay, we're making the A2 cards. So I'm cutting first 3-inch strips. Now, if you get overwhelmed by like, do I like this pattern? Do I want to cut it like this? Flip it over and don't even look at the pattern and just cut your measurements. So I'm going 3 by 4. So I'm making A2 cards, and my focal points are going to be 3 by 4, which is like a typical journaling card kind of size, or a lot of cut aparts come in this size when you have a 12 by 12 paper pad. So these are measurements y'all should be really familiar with. And this way I got 12 of them. Isn't that brilliant? So yay, more cards. And so now I'm just cutting these apart. I'm not overthinking it, but I love every single one of them, you guys. Then I grabbed my 8.5 by 11. I cut it first to 4 1/4, and then I'm gonna cut it down to 3 1/4. Okay, so I can get one. I think I can get, yes, 6 from one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, which means for 12 cards, I only needed 2 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. You got to first cut it to 4 1/4, you guys, right? And then you cut it to 3 1/4 on those long strips, and that's how you get 6. So that was the only paper I brought in besides my card base, were these black 2 sheets of cardstock for matting my layers. I just think this adds such a nice clean effect to it, and really makes it all look so intentional. So I'm gonna mat all of these up. I hope you guys are doing great. I have been super busy, but doing well, and getting ready to put my kids back in school. I'm like so excited because for 2 years they've been in this homeschool bubble, and now their whole world is about to expand again. And my husband's excited because it's like feels like normalcy for us to do this. But I am going to be running around between 2 campuses like a mad woman, I am sure. It's going to be a lot for me, and so I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I could use your prayers. Oh my goodness. But I'm also just very excited for my children and the opportunities that they'll have being back in the public school system. So yay for that. Tomorrow I have a video coming out. It's a collab with my friend Letty, and it's our part 2 where we're showing you how we're packing for the scrapbook expo, where we're planning on cropping. If you don't know what that means, we're gonna craft together with lots of other people, hopefully. I'm really excited about this. So that's on Saturday, but tomorrow she and I are both releasing videos on our channels in a collaboration to show you what we're packing, how we're packing it. And I have all kinds of information for y'all on that, so I hope you'll come back for that. And I might have another video this week. I don't know. We'll see. I overloaded y'all last week. So if you missed any of my videos last week, which I think there was almost one every day, you could go back and catch one of those. And I'm sure Letty and I will have a part 3 where we share our adventure with you. So stay tuned for that. I have some junk journals. I have 2 junk journals left in my shop, you guys. So if you want to check those out, they're over on my Etsy page. Let me jump back into the cards. Okay, I wanted to show y'all different ways to play with these card fronts now. So ephemera, hello, yes, something I love. How about thickers, which are thick stickers? These are like a foam almost. These are the really thick ones. And I liked this and thought it was about the right size. So I made this one a hugs card. So we've got ephemera. It's a great way to finish off these cards. Stickers. These are the thickers stickers. These are a great way to finish off the card. I did end up bringing a heart from the same sticker pad and brought that in up at the top. I am putting liquid glue on the back to enforce it because this is Texas. We need that glue. How about Dollar Tree stickers? I thought these were beautiful. I loved these when I found them. I was really proud of myself. I only bought one, and I have used them all up. There's none left. But yes, these layered stickers make a beautiful card front. How about your stamps? Don't forget those stamps. They're such an investment. We need to use them. So I made one. I thought this would make a great, a lot of these would make great masculine cards by just adding a sentiment or a simple image. So I brought in this stamp set that I had recently got at Hobby Lobby, and I liked the deer, so I'm going to use the deer. I stamped him up twice. So first I used my Distress Oxide. Let that sit there for a minute. The longer it sits, the better. And then I went back over it. Oh, tell me I cleaned my stamp. I did. And because the oxides, then I went back over it with my VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and I really love the effect of this. Even if you don't line it up perfectly, which I rarely do when I'm double stamping, it had a really cool effect. I just think that's fantastic. So I definitely use those on my cards. I just fussy cut them out. And then my friend Rhonda sent me this gorgeous background stamp. Thank you, Rhonda. I love it. It only took me like a month or 2 or 3 to use it, but I love it. And actually with this one, you guys, I'm just making a small square, a little rectangle to put, because the stamp is so detailed, I'm not going to color it in or anything. I am just going to cut a piece out like that. I had this die cut that someone had sent me in a Happy Mail and layered them up, and we have a card. So this is just a fun way, I think, to finish it off and use lots of different supplies. So not only are you using your scraps, but you can use your stamps, your die cuts, your ephemera. You can use stickers that you might have. This one was another die cut from Happy Mail, and so I thought that was so lovely. So pretty. I used a piece of ephemera from my stash. This was a printable piece from Tsunami Rose. So I'm going to lay that smack in the middle there. And then I even brought in more pieces. I have the faux wax seal paper die cut thing from Tim Holtz, and I put some twine behind that and popped it up. The sky's the limit with these cards, you guys, and I think it's a brilliant way to use your scraps. I think they're so pretty myself. I've already sent a few off. So here's one. So pretty. I just added the lady and the black and white flower. Lovely. All I did was add a large piece of ephemera to that piece. Here's another Maggie Holmes. So I dug out my Maggie Holmes and I put that beautiful horse on that one. And here's our hugs card with the thickers on it. Here's our Dollar Tree sticker and card. Here is a great masculine happy birthday card, in my opinion, or it doesn't have to be masculine. It can be for anybody. These sweet little deer cards. I had to make 2 of those, obviously. Great for any occasion. I left a lot of these without sentiments. I could use them for anything. I really like this one. I really like them all. I hope you do too. I hope this inspires you to get your scraps out, to glue them down to paper, to have a free crafting session where you're not worried about sketches, you're not worried about rules. You just glue and have some fun. Put a stamp on it and send it. I'll see you guys later.